everyone. This is Krissi here with Trail Talk. Today we're speaking with Emily Hawgood from Adidas Terrex. Emily, how are you doing?
I'm doing so well.
Great. Are you at home right now?
Yep. Out in
Yeah,
Cali.
yeah. Great. Just to give a little bit of setup for those who don't know, Emily is going into her fourth Western States this year. Back in 2021, she did what felt like every golden ticket race in the January to April period. Finally got in, and since then she's kind of been the queen of consistency, incrementally improving her time and going from a seventh the first year to 2/5. So she's looking to stay in the top 10. Emily, what keeps you coming back?
I love it. There's so much history on the course, and now I live out here, and this is my community, so it's definitely the race I want to step up to each year.
Awesome. And as I said, you improve your time bit by bit every year. Sometimes that means improving your place. Sometimes it just means kind of keeping up with the rest of the field. Do you change anything with your training each year? Is there anything that you feel like you learn that you work on the next year, or is it just about consistency?
I think with every race, you learn something, and hopefully you take something forward into the next race. So not just Western States, but I'm learning from every race I'm doing. Nothing's ever the same in training, which is really fun. Over 4 years, I've had 4 completely different build-ups and training progressions and everything. So it's been really fun. It never really feels the same. Every race is different, temperature and competition. So even, you see an increase in time or improvement in time or things like that. There's a lot of factors that play into that, and that doesn't necessarily translate to place or anything. Everything's up in the air all the time.
Yeah. And is there anything specifically that you've worked on? Is it improving the whole picture? Is there one thing that you really feel like this year you focused on?
No, I think mostly the whole picture. I'm kind of just building blocks together and building out my toolbox a little more. A whole nother year of training and experience is always super useful.
Yeah. And usually you're also the queen of consistency and doing a bit of a UTMB back to back, whether that's with UTMB or CCC. Do you focus on one race at a time, or are you looking ahead into how those blocks are building throughout the year?
Yeah, I mean, even stepping up to Western this year, I mean, I've been training for this for 4 years, so everything builds on each other, on itself. As much as I've been training for States, I've been training for UTMB at the same time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So on that note, and talking about kind of how things build, how are you looking at your strategy in the race this year? Do you have a plan of how you want to race it? Are you racing with yourself, against your competitors, against a splits? What are you thinking?
Um, Always against myself. You never know, what day is out there. I really want to just have the best day I can have out there, and kind of we just see how their best days go too. It's really cool when everyone does have really good days, and we can really battle it out and make it count. Yeah, so I'm excited. The first step is to step up to the start line feeling good, and just take it from there.
Do you focus on the course section by section, the high country, getting to Forest Hill ready to race, or is it just all kind of based on how your body is feeling and what you need at that moment?
I actually go even smaller than that. So, you know, big picture, like aid station to aid station, kind of break it down. But because I've been on the course so much, I can break it down to like creeks and rocks and a turn here. And so which makes it really, really fun. And I really noticed this year, just knowing it even more, that that's kind of an exciting game plan to have, of just like knowing, where I can switch it up a little differently. And yeah, maybe it's, not a Forest Hill like major aid station. It's, that tree on that corner that has yellow leaves under it, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, and are you gauging off of effort that whole time, or do you anything about, more specifically with heart rate, or how do
Yeah,
you?
I mean, effort for sure is a good kind of grounding point going in, and then with that comes the check marks of heart rate and things like that. I don't go in wanting to stay at a specific heart rate, but if I feel like my effort's high, I'll look at my heart rate and like double check, because sometimes you can feel like your effort is really high, but you're actually okay. Maybe you're just nervous or
Yeah.
something like that, or your effort can feel really low, but your heart rate is really high, and so just paying attention is always a good move. It's 100 miles. It's a long way.
Moving on into how you do approach those aid stations, we can maybe talk a bit about crewing and what your plan is in terms of, are you having one crew, two crews? Are you using the same crew you use every year? What's your plan around that?
Yeah. So having kind of the core same crew, which is my coach, and my mom. I didn't have my mom the first year, but now I've had her ever since then. Those are the core. And then kind of building off that, have a really great group of friends that have said yes to stepping up and supporting me, which is super exciting. And actually got a glimpse this weekend of most of them together, and they were just, sharing time. We were all hanging out, and it was really fun, and I got really excited. I was like, okay, it's nice when all the, individual friends you pick get along really well. And so I can't wait. It's going to be really fun. My mom gets here tomorrow. My coach gets out here on Saturday, which will be great. And then my pacers get here this week. So yeah, can't wait for everyone to be out. I do have two crews this year. We are lucky that we have Donkey Canyon and Dusty Corners open up. So I will use two, and I split them up and have half on one side and half on the other.
And will you keep doing that after Forest Hill as well?
Generally, yeah. It kind of gets a little different because pacers jump out and things like that. So we have, it's not as smooth as just saying like one group goes to this side, one group goes to that side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you gonna do your pacer exchange at Rucky Chucky or the Green Gate side?
Rocky Chucky.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so with your crew, do you have a set plan of, we kind of get into gears here, but are you vest, handheld, waistband? Are you doing quick switches, or are they stuffing you with stuff? How do you approach that?
I mean, I'll go into super details with the crew coming up here, just like making sure that's the plan. Currently, I'll have different vests at the different aid stations and just switch out, and then pick up a handheld.
Okay, so one handheld, two soft flasks is kind of what you're going to do aid station to aid station.
Yeah, I struggle with having two handhelds, because then I feel like I can't get things out of my pack and rip gel wrappers and whatever. So one handheld it is.
Yeah. But it's good to have that third bottle just because you never know where you're going to get really hot.
Yeah, exactly.
And then will you be doing any cooling strategies at aid station as well as on course? Hat, arm sleeves, stuffing ice in your pack?
Filling my pack with ice, and just staying as wet as possible is my biggest thing. I'm not a fan of a hat. I feel like I have enough hair to stay wet, and sometimes it just cools, it just dries really quick, and then I feel like it's just another article of clothing I'm carrying around. And kind of the same with arm sleeves. I will have the option of just in case if it's really, really hot and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm dying, we have to try something. But going in, it's not the plan to have anything extra. My pack holds ice pretty good, so I'm hoping that'll be sufficient.
Yeah, and you'll do packs the whole time. You'll never switch to just doing a handheld like later in the race, or
yeah.
And you have the benefit of knowing the course so well. You know where every creek to sit in, no matter how shallow it is. You know every place to cool off. So you'll just be doing that every chance you get, kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. And then in terms of the rest of the gear, you've got, an Adidas kit. What shoes have you chosen? Are you doing any shoe or sock exchanges?
No exchanges. Obviously have them as emergency if needed. Because sometimes hotspots arise or whatever. Adidas socks and then Adidas pack and shoes. The Agribix Speed Ultras are my shoe of choice.
So you'll just try and go the whole race with the same pair, and that's what you've been doing.
Yeah. Last year I did change, but I didn't feel like I actually needed to. I just felt like it was in my plan, so I did it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Great. And then in terms of nutrition, we can talk about, if you want, what kind of products you like to use. Are you a gel, a chew, real food? What do you like in your bottles?
Yeah. I am a Never Second fan. So love all their gels and all their products. So have their drink mix as well as all their gels, kind of in rotation. Not anything super specific, which is nice. If I get enough of one of them, I'll just stop eating that one. And then I use Tailwind, the recovery mix, the chocolate recovery mix. I use that too. Bananas on my real food. And then I just have other real food on call, but nothing specifically in the game plan for this year.
Is there anything you said on call? Is there anything that you tend to crave? Something salty or savory to switch it up, or
every year is different. If anyone who's listened to any of my podcasts before knows, sometimes it's donuts, sometimes it's chicken nuggets, sometimes it could be anything. And also the worst thing is that someone will say something like, imagine you had, and then I'm like, well, now I want that.
And now you have a task of going in between aid stations to Wharton and getting me those gummy candies.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really a sweet person. I don't usually crave sweet. I think when the donuts came up, it was because I was hungry and I just wanted something like filling, and donuts just sounded good. It was cold.
Fair. Yeah. And they squish down easily.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So savory snacks, a variety of stuff. See where it goes. And then will you be switching any of those Never Second? Something you'll have like the C30s. Will you switch in any caffeinated at any point?
Yeah, I do have some there for sure. But that's obviously the riskiest one. Just can screw the stomach really quick. So yeah, just totally going off feel. And if I want it, probably not even not even one an hour, one maybe every section.
Gotcha. Yeah. And then how often would you use the Tailwind recovery protein? Because that's got a bunch of stuff in it.
Yeah. So I alternate between the Never Second, actually the C90 mix. I don't use a C30, and the Tailwind. And then when I don't have one of them so I have so I'll start with like Tailwind and water, and then I'll go to C90 and water. So.
Yeah, and just alternate as you change bottles.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you have any, you said what you take will be based on feel, but do you have any carb or calorie goals or sodium hydration goals?
I've got to the point that I can tell if I'm short on something, especially sodium. And so I'll add if needed, and I'll just use the salt stick chews for that. But every Never Second gel has 200 milligrams of sodium in it, and the C90 mix also has 200. And so I should get in enough each hour. But if I need more, I'll have the salt chews to just take in. The carbs, the goal, I don't really have a goal. I am hoping to take a gel every 20 minutes. So that helps.
Okay. So 3 gels an hour, whatever that works out to, is kind of your goal of what you want to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Yeah.
And I guess, is there anything else that you want to speak to about your strategy going into the race? Or you said you compete against yourself. Do you have any time goals or place goals? You trying to get that 4th top 10?
Yeah, I mean, always the first goal for me is to finish. Second goal goes sub 24. Third goal, yeah, the top 10 would be amazing. It's always, such an honor to get the opportunity to come back. And then hopefully, yeah, climb as high as I can within that top 10. Goal times, it's so much down to the day. So yeah, I mean, I have goals, but it's so dependent on weather and things like that. I'm not afraid to miss a time goal because I'm looking after myself, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Great. Anything else you want to say about the race or the women's field, what you're looking forward to before, after?
Yeah, I mean, looking forward to it all. It's been super exciting out here, for the whole year, and everyone's so excited. A really respectable field of ladies stepping up to the start line. I respect them all. Like everyone has put in the work, so it's really, really, really like an honor to step up with the field that's going to be there, and the course too. Like it has my greatest respect, and I'm really excited to get out there and see what it holds for us. But yeah, just excited for an amazing day.
Well, we're really excited for you to have an amazing day, and I look forward to seeing you arrive in Olympic Valley.
Thank you so much.